The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Tuesday, the 31st day of October 2023. It's Halloween. If you celebrate it, save me some candy. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sancha Durham, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break brought to you by Peoples. Sancha, where's your costume?
Listen, you know I'm always prepared for Halloween, and I don't know. I don't know what happened, but when I sat here and I saw you in your costume, I got really jealous. And then I started like pulling out all this Halloween stuff. And I'm like, should I put it on?
Yes.
I'm like, should I put it on?
Yes. Yes. But you know,
for tonight, I'm just not prepared for right now. I feel like we have conversations today.
Okay. But you know what though? For the boring one of the crew and the grumpy one of the crew, I said, you know what? I ain't gonna tell them. I just want to go. So I went on Amazon and purchased this shirt, hoping it was delivered before I got back to Bermuda. And ain't it pretty cool? Like my tuxedo shirt, don't you like it?
Listen, I was very surprised that you actually had something on because you're not.
Yeah, I'm not that guy.
Guy.
Yeah, I'm not that guy.
But then I was also thinking to myself, what made him choose that?
Because I knew no one else would. That's because I know no one else would. That's why.
It's very Jamal though.
Yeah,
I need you to put on a top hat tonight.
I have that. We can work something.
There we go.
You know what? Doesn't the Bermuda national team have pink in their jersey now? Yeah, this is what it's about.
There you go. So if you go to the football game, you are prepared. Look at that, Jamal.
Look at me. It was all part of the plan. Even before Maya told me the game was happening. Yep, it was all part of the plan.
Listen, look at you, just organized. I love it.
Yeah. No, I have to use my nieces tonight because I don't know if Bermuda necessarily. I'm gonna have to check with people. So oh well. First off, happy birthday to People's Pharmacy. I think it's 39 today or 40. 39 years or 40 years. So I think we're on that way, but their birthday is today. Happy birthday to People's Pharmacy. Yeah.
I actually have a plan to go to People's Pharmacy first thing this morning because as I said, I always wear a costume, Maddox and I, and that was my costume last year. So I'm going to People's today so I can get a new costume. Maddox was a little upset that I wasn't prepared. So that's my
first step. You should be.
And I saw that they have new costumes in stock, guys.
Maybe I'll go around there, see if they have a top hat for me. Yeah. I don't know what the abuse is. Sean DeShield says, short tuxedo for short. I just don't understand this. I mean, hey, you all don't like my costume, seriously? Come on, give me some love. You know me, I don't even do stuff like this. But
you showed up.
Since I'm in the same contract with my nieces, I said, you know what? They're doing, I think they're going trick-or-treating tonight. I can't dig in their candy bag if I don't play along, right?
You should go trick-or-treat for a little bit. It's really fun.
Me? Not going strangers' doors?
They're not strangers. It's it's really changed, Like it's more community-based. Like people tend to go to like different communities now and everyone dresses up. And Jamal, they have a few adult spots. I know I'm not going to say where I go trick-or-treating, but they actually have like adult treats.
Well, can you tell me on the side?
I'll tell you on the side.
You sound like you got the spots. She knows the spots. Anyway, folks, hopefully I see you all, along the paths, having safe, fun throughout the evening with the young ones. And if you got some candy that, the children, they shouldn't be eating too much candy. So if you got some spares, right, hit your boy up. I'll be happy to take some candy off of you and your children and your family. So just keep that in mind. Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine, a good one today, as we welcome the head of Somersfield Academy, Mr. Riki Teteina. I think I pronounced that right. If I didn't, he'll correct me when he comes on, but looking forward to the conversation. The Daily Play is a remember when, so a little history for you, Sancha. We're not going too far back. That's your hint today.
Okay.
Only going back within the last 10 years. How's that?
Okay.
All right. Folks, some big news. And while you all are showing up already, we have a lot of responses so far. I'm going to try to put the link in the comments now. Okay. So we did release our annual survey yesterday. So we encourage everyone to please fill out the survey for us. How do I get to the survey, guys? I'm trying to, well, it's on the website. It's on the website. All right. I'm sorry. We have an issue here. Somebody's trying to get on the show. Madam, please. Sorry, we're live here, and someone's trying to be a part of the show this morning. But the survey is available on our website. Please do us a favor. Go to our website. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and fill out the survey. Your feedback is crucial to and for what we do. All right. There will be, as we've done the last 2 years, a prize, a little draw. I don't have permission to know what we're giving away as of yet. So yeah, stay tuned. All right. And yeah, while you're on the website, subscribe and please follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Now, let's get into today's discussion.
Yes.
That's Maya's little friend. She likes the pets. Maya's little friend making all that noise, trying to be a part of the show. But we have a question this morning. We have a question. And let me just share my experience. So you all know my bedtime's pretty much 9 o'clock in bed, 10 o'clock, try to be asleep. So I don't get out much. Well, I went out past my bedtime on Saturday night to a party. I think I left like 1 something. The party was at Pier 6. And at this party at Pier 6, the police came a couple times. I said, they can't be coming because of noise. No way, this is Front Street. It's always noise for parties at night. It's indoors. But they were coming for noise. Apparently, people across the water, Harbor Road, had complained about noise. I read some letters to the editor from Mr. Bryant True recently, and I honestly couldn't believe what I was reading, that there were complaints about noise. Now, let me be clear. I am not saying that he's wrong or he shouldn't be complaining. I just didn't think Bermudians still had issues with noise. Last year or earlier this year, it was Carnival, where the people were across from the Arboretum had complaints about noise, right? And we had that discussion then. The question of the morning, in such a small community where people are always complaining about there's nothing to do, what's the solution for noise complaints throughout Bermuda? And maybe I should give some context. So the Royal Gazette's report, according to the Royal Gazette, police talks ongoing with DPP on noise complaints. And the West End resident troubled by pounding music from bars in the area has called for clarity on the law and said that liquor licensing authority mishandled his complaint. So Bryant True's complaints over persistent noise from the West End Sailboat Club, as well as Woody Sports Bar and Restaurant, got a response from Darren Simons, the Commissioner of Police, who said the issue was under discussion with the Department of Public Prosecutions. He said he grew frustrated after first highlighting it in April 2022. Let me stop there. There are laws and rules in place. And I can't imagine being a light sleeper, which I'm not, and not being able to get the amount of rest that you want or need to be able to live comfortably, go to work, and just have stress free. But there's got to be some solution or common ground to this. Like the music at Pier 6 was not even loud inside. So I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, noise travels, right? I felt like, no, maybe it's someone that just wants to complain. But then I had to put myself in their shoes and say, you know what? I'm not a light sleeper. What if they're a light sleeper and the littlest of noise? And then it's like, well, don't cars and bikes ride along Harbor Road throughout the night? And then I again put myself in their shoes, but it's not constant for hours. So again, the question, folks, is what's the solution for noise complaints throughout Bermuda? Because you know what we sell when we speak about bringing tourists and visitors to Bermuda? You know what we try to sell? A nightlife. We can't have a nightlife if we're complaining about the things that are, involved in nightlife. We cannot, we have to decide what we want. And I'm not saying Mr. True is wrong. I'm not saying anyone's wrong for the noise complaints. What we're asking this morning is the solution for the noise complaints. Is it that government needs to revisit the laws and the rules or the policies of it? Because, according to the Royal Gazette, officers must be able to prove that on each such occasion, the persons responsible for the music were given the opportunity to desist and nevertheless continue to make the noise without element, no offense otherwise committed. Well, I'd like to know the solution to this. What's the solution, Sandra? Audience, what's the solution?
So in my experience, I've been in entertainment for years, and this has always been an issue. I don't know if everyone knows, but at one point my family owned the Bermuda Longtail. And if we went in certain areas, we were guaranteed to have noise complaints, especially anywhere around Harbor Road. I think certain neighborhoods are more tolerant than others. And it's probably because they don't need to tolerate it because it's not something that happens for them on a regular basis. Other neighborhoods are a little more patient, right? But in saying that, is Mr. True new to the area? Because anybody that's inside, once again, I'm from Somerset. Woody's and Boat Club, they are a staple within this neighborhood. And I don't know if anybody's been to Woody's. The only time that it's super loud is if it's maybe a Mother's Day, a Father's Day, a special event, right? Other than that, the music tends to kind of stay within the establishment. So if it's traveling, I'm not in his shoes, like you said, but it's not unbearable, right? And it's at a point whereas did it bother you one day and then it becomes a little nitpicky, and you're just like, I do not want to hear this, and it's something that happens and you become frustrated. But all in all, as you said, we are now in a space whereas we're not the most popular tourist destination anymore. And we need to create and be patient and create these events and, just spaces where people can be a little free. And we need to be patient. I feel like at this point, that is the solution. I don't know. And I do feel as if I don't know whether the law has changed at all, but I do remember at some point feeling like it was a bit dated.
Yeah, I think we probably need to revisit many laws, some like this. Now, folks, what are your thoughts? What's the solution for noise complaints throughout Bermuda? Suzanne Ingham says, legally, noise has to shut down by midnight. Unfortunately, the noise carries across the water and sounds louder. Maybe tone the music just for a notch or two. Well, according to the DJs, who I would say are the resident expert engineers, the level of speaker was not that loud. Like there was not that much bass in them. I mean, from being inside, I've been inside clubs in my life, folks, and many of us have. I couldn't take the loudness when I was in there. I mean, my ears are much older now, and it was not that loud. You can still talk to people without shouting in there. That's how I felt.
Yeah. I mean, music noise does travel, especially across the water.
Mhm.
You know, I get that. But then you also get into this match of what's loud to you is not loud to me. You know
Correct.
what I mean? So then that's the part that annoys me a little bit when the police come. I'm
Mhm.
sure they're not going to like Mr. True's house to say, well, let me hear what you're hearing. They're showing up at these establishments like Mr. True said. And it's almost like a he said, so it's right, you know?
But
And I do want to know, are we looking at both sides and weighing both sides, or are we just taking the noise complaint to say it's a complaint? Please turn your music down.
but Sancha, I mean, you know what? I know what you know this. What's become popular in the US over the last 10, 15 years is day parties, right?
Hmm.
I feel like even day parties, and I'll give you an example, I'll use myself. So when I go for my jogs in the morning, I try not to do any um like exercise on my patio that's gonna be loud, right? So I'll just stretch. But in the evening or afternoon, I may do my kickboxing thing. That's loud because I'm punching and kicking something, right? My neighbor who I met for the first time last month above me, hey, I thought you were involved in something, like you were in an altercation because it was so loud down there. That's me saying, oh, it didn't bother you, did it? Oh, no, 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 it was during the day. But that's me being considerate, because if I punch it in the early morning, it's going to be loud, it's going to wake her up, it's going to. No, let's say she moves and someone else moves in and they have a different work shift.
Hmm.
Things shift now because now it may interrupt this person during the day.
Hmm.
The point is, while the law may say midnight, according to Suzanne Ingham, who's to say loud music can't be disturbing to some during the day? I think this is a difficult issue, more difficult than we're probably making it seem, because it's a situation where you have to please not the majority, but everyone, right? Because even a day party may bother people.
That's very true. I remember I used to have these gardeners when I first had Maddox
Mhm.
that would come and turn the mowers on as soon
Mhm.
as I put them down to sleep. And one day I just lost it, right? I got outside. I was just like, listen, because he wasn't a sound sleeper at that point.
Mhm.
So that's true.
Yeah.
That is a noise during the day that really annoyed me. And I'm like, my kid's sleeping. Please, you
Mhm.
need to wait. So I get it.
Audience, you're quiet this morning. What's the thoughts? What are your thoughts? What's the solution for noise complaints throughout Bermuda? We have some issues. We do, and I don't think we should ignore them. I think we there is a solution in this. I believe there is a solution. What is that solution? Is it down to government changing legislation and policy? Is it down to people being more considerate on both sides? Right. At the end of the day, these clubs and bars may feel like that's the time when they're able to make their money to
Mhm.
exist. However, at the expense of unhappy neighbors. And one thing, the one place people want to be comfortable is the place where they sleep. Traveling Trotty says the noise is not happening every day, and the wind does affect how much of the noise you would experience. I heard noise from a carnival party, and I was like, it happens once a year. And this is true. I mean, how often is it happening? Is it every night? Is it once or twice a week? Is it once a year?
Mhm.
I mean, we had that conversation around Carnival when the folks had complaints about the Arboretum. Like, it's once a year. I mean, and maybe this is different, this analogy, but when I'm going to work, the ride's not always smooth on the highway. There may be an accident, right? Or a collision, as we say in Bermuda. It may not be a smooth ride. It may happen once every few months. Are we not willing to say, you know what, it's just this one time?
Yeah.
I'm concerned, my concern, and I know folks may say, I was always thinking tourism. No, I'm always thinking Bermuda and economy. Who's to say that we're not, I don't want to say shooting ourselves. Yeah, we're not shooting ourselves in the foot by actually taking away the little things that people feel there are to do in Bermuda. I don't know personally. I've never heard of any incident at West End Sailboat Club. I'm not saying there aren't, but that's one of the places many people would say, "Yeah, I haven't been there. Let me go up there for a little Heineken Zero or something."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the only time I see that those places people frequent
Mhm.
lots, but the only time it's like a big party is special occasions. Like I said, Mother's Day, it's packed, the speakers come outside, it becomes a party, right? Father's Day, same thing. But I feel like you said, there has to be a compromise. And I these establishments have been there for a very long time, as long as I've been around, and I'm 43. So
Yeah,
for
that young? Yeah, that young? I'm sorry.
I'm that young. I'm that young.
But no, I completely understand what that compromise is. I think there needs to be a compromise. I think we need to cooler heads need to prevail. I think Bermuda is in a very interesting space. We cannot continue to sell something that we don't even want for ourselves. We just can't say the nightlife is great and it's not going to be for everyone. And then as soon as there's something, people be unhappy. And on the other side, there has to be respect. If you know that neighbors are sensitive, let's not do it every night. I'm not saying it's happening every night, but let's try to do it less often. Let's promote some day parties. Right. Let's go to the audience before we go to the news break. Then we've got the head of Somersfield Academy, Riki Teteina, coming up. Sonia Clark says Woody's has been there how long? The police need help. Mr. True understands his choices, and he's been allowed in this year. Contact a real estate agent. Serious. So basically, she's saying, Mr. True, you can move.
Well, that's why I was asking, is he new to the area? Is he a new, like, has he just recently purchased this property? Is he recently moved in? Is he new to this area? Because that establishment has been there for a long time.
Sancha, I don't know. It's something about. I don't know how long it's been there, by the way, folks. I honestly don't know. But it's something about somebody being pushed out of somewhere where they obviously feel comfortable. If they earn it, purchased, because of noise complaints. I would hope that the compromise can be slighter than that. Let's go through these last few comments before we bring Maya in. Renee Simmons says Bermuda is too conservative. They need to decide if it's really worth growing the economy or making it more comfortable at night to sleep without distractions. How often is there noise throughout the night? I think the conservativeness is part of it. But again, folks, the one place you want peace, you want comfort, is in your abode. Karen Simmons says, as a community, we could first start by having a conversation with your neighbors to advise that noise would be happening and they are not surprised. Well, you're being an adult here, Auntie Karen. Conversations.
Have you ever tried to rent Fort Hamilton? When you rent Fort Hamilton, you have to send a letter to all of the neighbors to let them know that you are having an event on this day and this time.
Hmm.
This is what's going to be happening, and it's a strict shutdown.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I think I like that though. I think that's probably necessary.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, having conversations with the people in the area, it really, really could help solve a lot. Teresa Marie says, noise is measurable no matter how different people hear it. Simple as that. Agreed, Teresa. Suzanne Ingham says, yes, it does get very loud during the day, but then you have a conversation with the person if it's all the time. Be considerate and understanding. Communication is vital. Come to a resolve. It isn't every day. Elephant 999 says, where I live, I notify my neighbors that a gathering is going to happen, and my neighbors notify me with what they appreciate, that they appreciate the heads up. Sorry. Sonia Clark says, but it's obvious that he's not comfortable. And Suzanne Ingham says, I live across from a club. The former owners were loud. The new owners were terrible for a while. They seem to have simmered, and it is better now. I think, basically, moral of the story, folks, let's communicate. Let's have the conversations. There is a solution to this. What I don't think is one side is wrong and the other is right. I think both sides need to get together, have conversations, and find a way forward. Bermuda cannot afford to be any more dead than it is when it comes to entertainment and nightlife. Sancha would tell you that as a person who's done many events, large and small. When you bring the drum line back, they're gonna say, "Oh, those drums are too loud."
Listen, we've had it. We've had it.
Let's bring my AM again. All right, my Palacio. After that, we've got the head of Somersfield Academy, Riki Teteina, coming up. My Palacio, welcome to the Daily Hour.
Good morning, good morning.
Greetings, MP. Where's your Halloween gear?
Leave me alone.
Okay, sorry.
I've had a few messages, Jamal, asking what are you?
It was a Halloween shirt. I don't
No,
know.
but do you know what you are? If someone says, "What are you today?" What's your answer?
A short man in a tux.
In a pink tux.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with what Sean the Shields insult said. Yeah.
I'll be something later. I wasn't prepared this morning.
I need pictures.
Yeah, we need pictures.
You were oh my God, from
Bridgerton.
Bridgerton. Yes, I remember. Do you remember that, Jamal?
No.
Ah, man.
You know I don't remember nothing.
I got the whole outfit. I had the gloves and everything, Jamal.
Oh, my apologies.
I lacked today, but later I'm gonna be Huey from Boondocks, so I'll send pictures.
I feel like Maya initiated my interest into Bridgerton with that costume. So.
Well, hopefully I initiate someone's interest in a tuxedo for.
I'm not quite sure where I'm looking, so I don't like. I'm trying to figure out what you are, so I can get. I don't know what you are, Jamal.
It's the most boring, basic thing that you could get off of Amazon so quick. It's just like, yeah, Halloween costume.
You know what? I accept that because you all know I don't do this stuff. I'm like, this is me, like, trying to, yeah.
You guys gotta put a name tag on your chest.
Can I please go to a comment?
What's a comment saying, Sandra?
Renee Simmons says he looks like a burlesque bunny.
I don't even know what that is.
I'm sorry.
I don't even know what that is. What's a burlesque bunny?
Let me continue with the news.
Hold on, Maya. Since it's Halloween, there might be some parties tonight. What's the solution for noise complaints?
I'm sorry.
To me, this questions you're asking about me, the solution, I think everyone basically got it. Like, I think it's very kind to let your neighbors know when you're gonna have a party. I think that really smooths it out. I think when I first moved into my place, back home, like when I first to a studio, and I knew I was gonna have like a little house gathering with my friends, and like sent around a little card to my neighbors, just like, "Hey, having a party this time." And I think some people may have gotten cookies, some did not, just to like let them know, like, and I just knocked at their door, so they knew, like, if they heard any loud noise.
Did people think you were inviting them and showed up because you had it on like a little card? That's very sweet of you.
I just was like, my family will be over. Just like trying to keep it very like intimate and small.
Communication, I love it.
What you got for us today?
Well, good morning, everyone. This is the Daily Hour Newsbreak brought to you by the lovely people at People's Pharmacy. So this morning, starting out with some more serious news, ending with something on a high note. But this morning, police are asking for your assistance in locating 15-year-old Raquel Securia. So full name, first name, Raquel Sophia. Miss Sophia, a Portuguese national, described as being 5 foot in height, light complexion, slim built, with neck length black hair. She was last seen somewhere between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. on Saturday, October 28th, in the area of Hillview Lane in Warwick Parish. At that time, she was wearing a black shorts and a white top. And with any information on her whereabouts, please ask to call the main police number at 295-0011.
Yeah, folks, if you see us, say something, give the police a call. 15 years old. Let's get her back home.
Yes, definitely. In other news, a visitor to the island was involved in a collision and is currently in the ICU. This happened shortly after 7:15 p.m. on Monday, just yesterday, and police officers are dispatched to a serious road traffic collision involving a male pedestrian and a water truck in the area of Marley Beach, Warwick. The details are limited. However, at the arrival of the scene, officers were informed that the pedestrian, the visitor, was attempting to cross the roadway when the collision occurred. Reports are that the male was unconscious and was, suspected to have a severe head injury, and last check, he's in the ICU.
Wishing him a speedy recovery.
Yeah, there's another collision that happened, shortly after as well, and this is an ongoing thing right now. So I hope everyone just heals as fast as possible and that nothing too serious happens. But there was another one that happened on Saturday where police responded to a reported serious two-vehicle collision involving a van and a motorcycle at the junction of Chain Hill and Middle Road in Devonshire as well. EMTs arrived on the scene. They transported people back to the hospital as well. The female passenger in this incident, when there was a male driver of the van, was reported to have had injured in the collision. And right now they're just asking anyone who knows anything about this to please, come forward.
I mean, we came across one, as I said yesterday. Just slow down, I guess.
Definitely. And I apologize, I put up the wrong images for this story here, where a 29-year-old male was arrested when police executed a firearm warrant at a Mount Hill, Pembroke residence in relation to the ongoing investigation into a confirmed firearm incident which occurred, if you all remember, on October the 18th in the area of Park Road, Pembroke. Several items liable for seizure were recovered during the execution of the warrant, and police continue to appeal for members of the public who may have any information on that non-injury shooting to please get in contact with Detective Inspector Jason Smith at 717-0864, or again, you could contact 211.
No comment.
Yeah. Last one here that has to do with some serious news, just so everyone's well warned in advance that there will be a road sobriety checkpoint. So motorists are advised that police will be conducting these checkpoints in all 9 parishes starting Friday evening, November the 3rd through November the 9th.
All right. Well, folks, in advance, carry your license and don't do what you might be thinking to do. That means no drinking and no driving. Yes. Not at least a combination.
Mm-hmm. As well as tonight, Halloween, things are going to happen. So please just get yourself sorted, have a designated driver, don't drink too much if you're going to be on a vehicle. All the things that we know, please implement them in your mind and the minds of your friends as well tonight. Mm-hmm. Now, in some better news, some upbeat news that you guys would be very interested. So today is the last day of Art Month. This was Bermuda's first ever Art Month that happened. And from talking to different artists around the island, it was a success for them and everyone's quite happy about it. Well, I got to speak to one of the main people who were kind of key and integral to it, Derek G. Simmons, who was a part of the DIA live band. Now, Derek is, has been a producer for quite a long time on the island. He's never actually put out his own album, but he finally did. And I got to have a sit-down conversation with him about it. And he talks a lot about his experience as being a Black male in Bermuda, trying to get into this music career and trying to change the narrative of what people might think like a Black male musician is. So here's a quick snippet of our interview, and the full thing will be up on Media Maya tomorrow morning.
Well, this is all our first time here.
Yep.
This is our first time here. Like, so even your parents, everybody, nobody has a
blueprint.
A cheat code book about how to do this shit. So like,
you can only take from the lessons of other people and learn what they are doing and try not to repeat their mistakes, but everyone's life is going to be different.
Frequency, low frequency. Can you tell the difference?
Can you feel the difference?
Can you do division?
Can you do the vision?
Manipulate the algorithm?
Like this sound, it comes from Africa, it comes from Africa,
it comes from Africa.
Yeah. Being younger, we guys had the intentions of like doing great things and being positive and being in the spaces to change the narrative, and we got the complete opposite response where it was like security kicking us out. Like we would get invited to certain spaces and privileged and honored by these people, but like there's somebody that's not in the mix or somebody that's not on the same page as they are, and it's an issue. Like you guys have to leave, or you can't be here now, or you can't do that here, or like, you know what I mean? It's so many, or you got like, we didn't call you back because you were unapproachable, or like it's always a new term or a new word to be used, but it's never like honesty straight and forward. Like it's because you were Black.
I think that almost coincides with this morning's conversation. I don't know, almost a correlation. Challenges that artists face, but yeah.
I'm actually excited to see that Derek is actually coming in front of the mic. Obviously, I've known Derek for a very long time. Jesse used to be lead singer at some point for DIA.
Mm-hmm. For those who don't know who Jesse is, that might be watching for the first time.
Sorry, Maddox's dad, Jesse Seymour. And it's really cool that he has so much knowledge, right? around music, and he's been a producer for so long. So to take that leap, that doesn't happen very often. So to take that leap, to kind of have that confidence to come in front of the mic and show that talent, I'm proud of him.
What inspired him to kind of want to go in front of the mic after so much?
Oh, you got to watch the interview to figure that one out.
And like, see what we did there, folks? Trust me. Thanks for that. Thanks for sharing these kind of conversations as well. And Art Month ends today. Wow, that was a quick month.
It was. I hope you guys got to go out and like experience some of it. Anyone went to the Jade Given exhibit?
It's how long is it going to be?
That was on for an entire year, but it's still really good.
So it ends today. Maybe I can spend my day and do that. Like, you know how sometimes you just, Jamal, we should meet up and go.
Okay, hit your boy up.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Hope I don't embarrass you with my shirt looking like a bunny.
Hey, Jamal, I think you look so cute.
Yeah, whatever.
I do. Please wear it, and I'll wear my Gwen costume.
Fine.
I'm sorry. Did I hurt your feelings?
No, Renee Simmons did.
Oh, you look like a cute. It's cute. Don't take it off, okay?
She just wants people to make fun of me, Maya.
Don't. It's cute. I appreciate your effort today, and I'm sorry.
I'm trying, right? I'm trying. You always say, "Oh, it's so hard. It's so grumpy," and I'm,
I'm sorry. This
call me names.
On camera, guys. Jamal and I are working on our relationship, and here we are. I'm apologizing for hurting your feelings.
We're in therapy, folks.
You tried. And I appreciate your effort, and I actually think you look really good. I'm sorry.
Right, thank you. Maya, you got anything nice to say to stroke?
Yeah, let me close out with some sports this morning. So Bermudian Israel Bennett scored 2 goals to help her Paul College team win against Texas College. Israel is a junior majoring in health and wellness, and for 2 seasons she has been voted NAIA Red River Conference and the most honorable mention and second team All-American as well. So congratulations to her.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't give them their burn. How's the weather looking? Because if I go outside today, I need to make sure it's good.
It's not looking too good. As you know, there is the football game this evening. And for the day, though, it says sunny breaks, some odd showers around, in the morning time. But for tonight, it's looking mostly cloudy with a chance of a few showers developing overnight. So hopefully they come way later after the game and after everyone's had their fun. But, if you're on a bike, bring that raincoat.
You're going to need your coat and top hat.
Okay, my top hat. Coat and top hat. I'm going all out, folks. What days of the year? It's got to be something fun today.
Not really fun, but, something we all need to do. World Savings Day.
Oh.
Do you guys work on your savings? Thinking about your future, making financial plans is a wise practice, and making a plan for putting a few dollars aside on a regular basis is what World Savings Day is all about. So I need that reminder here and there because girlfriend is a spender when she's ready.
I mean, I do have a great savings thing that I work on. So you know me, one of my favorite days of the year is November 1st because all the candy is usually 75% off. So folks, if you're looking for ways to save, just have Halloween after Halloween,
Invite the kids over late.
There you go. Free advice. Maya, thank you so much for that. And hold up, before Maya goes, folks, if you haven't already, again, a lot of people have done it and we hadn't even shared it until this morning, but please go, we just put the link in there. Please go to the website, share out the form. The information that you give us helps us make decisions. There are some very interesting questions. Thank you to all those who have responded. And I'm going to ask Sancha and Maya on the spot, one of the questions on there. What time for this show would you prefer? The current time or doing the show an hour earlier?
An hour earlier.
I would prefer an hour earlier, but man.
I know we all have to wake up early. I get it. But when I'm not on the show, it's really every time I'm like, I wish it was an hour earlier because this is such a hard time for me to watch live. So I always have to go back and watch.
What do you think the majority of the respondents so far have said they would like?
Definitely an hour earlier. I bet some people saying 2 hours earlier.
No.
What?
The majority of the respondents so far.
They like this time?
Current time.
Oh,
yeah. So we'll see what the survey says. Again, we had 120 people the first year, 130 people last year. Let's get 200 respondents this year. The more information we have, the better it is to make changes that really do what you would like. All right, so Maya, thank you so much. Folks, we're going to take a quick break, come back, and don't worry, we're not going to push Mr. Teteina out. We're going to make up time. So whatever we've lost, we'll make up to make sure that we have a full conversation. See you tomorrow, Maya. Do you need me to go to the game and get any footage?
Yeah, because I won't be able to make it tonight. So yeah, get something.
All right, I'll do my best. Hopefully I don't get rained on, since you told me it's going to be some, showers. We'll see. See you tomorrow. All right, folks, we'll be right back. Stick with us.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level.
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dendy Town Field. Number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
Welcome back to the big show, Central Durham. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Please do not forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Folks, whether you watch on Facebook, thedailyhour.com, or YouTube, I just want to say we really, truly appreciate you watching, whether it's live or replays. We appreciate you. And we just ask that due to the algorithms, if you're watching on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, that you make sure that you're liking and make sure you're sharing, because the algorithms will hide it from you. So you know how you get those notifications right now? Those notifications will not appear if you don't do that. However, if you're on our website, you don't have to worry about that. On our website, it's there every day. It's not hidden. All you have to do is go to thedailyhour.com and you can engage live with us. But without further ado, let's bring our guest for the day. We have it's his first time, I believe, the head of Somersfield Academy, Riki Teteina. Welcome to the show. Let's give him a warm TDH welcome. Calm down. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Great. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And sorry for the long wait, but they were teasing me about my costume today, and so it took up a bit of time.
Jamal, I just want to say you look very dapper, very, very smooth, very smart in that costume. So good choice.
I appreciate you. We do. Well, you know what? Before we get into the conversation, we obviously, I'm going to express my bias, and I'm sure Sancho will as well. My baby sister attended Somersfield, and my niece currently attends Somersfield, and I'm going to speak for Sancho, and Sancho's son Maddox attends Somersfield. So we obviously have a connection to Somersfield as far as that goes. But just tell us, I heard an accent just now, so just tell us a bit about your background. Is that, I don't want to be offensive, is it Aussie or New Zealand?
It's a New Zealand accent, so I'm a long way from home. However, it's been a great opportunity to be here. So I've been involved in education for over 30 years, experience mainly in international education, and I've had the privilege of being involved in a whole range of different curriculums, whether it's American curriculum, the UK curriculum, New Zealand curriculum, or the International Baccalaureate. So I've got a good experience of a whole range of curriculums around the world.
Wow, what an experience. And New Zealand is far. So little old Bermuda. Well, I'm going to say it's delayed and belated, but welcome to Bermuda and Somersfield Academy. Let's get into Somersfield, though. People hear the name Somersfield Academy and they think Montessori. That's what I always say. And many people don't know what that means. Just explain what is Montessori and what is the school's approach to Montessori.
Look, Montessori comes from a method of education named after Dr. Maria Montessori. She was the first one in Italy to obtain the degree of Doctor of Medicine. Because she was a doctor, Maria Montessori looked at education from a scientific level. She believed that education should prepare a person for all aspects of life. So she designed materials and techniques that will promote a natural growth of learning in students. They're common to all Montessori classrooms around the world. Working with these materials and techniques form a pattern that every child carries over naturally to reading, writing, and mathematics. So all of these skills interlock with each other.
Audience, sorry, Sancha, if you have any questions or comments for Mr. Riki, please send them through and we'll get through as many as possible. Get Sancha, sorry.
So good morning, Mr. Riki. How are you?
It's good to see you, Sancha.
No stranger. Riki and I, he knows I'm always at the school. I'm quick to be like, hey, can we talk? So no stranger. And I'm really happy to have you at Somersfield. I have seen the difference. When I first put Maddox at Somersfield, and a lot of people would say to me, their assumption was always, oh, you mean all he does is play all day, right? He's a Montessori kid, so you just allow him to play all day. Can you clarify just the Montessori educational philosophy? So, you know, they're not playing all day.
That is absolutely correct. They're not playing all day. The education program is designed under a whole lot of structures, and I'll go through those now. First of all, each child is valued as a unique individual. Montessori education recognizes that children learn in different ways and accommodates all learning styles. You know, as parents, those of you who've got more than one child, every one of your children are different. They learn differently, they act differently, they react differently. And so we need to provide an education that supports each of those different learning styles. So students are also free to learn at their own pace, each advancing through the curriculum as they are ready, guided by the teacher and an individualized learning plan. We begin at an early age. Montessori students develop order, coordination, concentration, and independence. The classroom design, the materials, the daily routines support the individual's emerging self-regulation. That's the ability to educate oneself and to think about what one is learning. That happens from toddlers all the way to our P4, our 8, 9, 10-year-olds. Students are part of a close caring community. We have multi-age classrooms. We have a 3, 4, and 5-year-old program, and then our 6, 7, 8-year-old program. That's on purpose. It creates a family structure. Older students enjoy the stature as mentors and role models. Younger children feel supported and gain confidence about the challenges ahead. Teachers model respect, loving, kindness, and belief in peaceful resolutions. Montessori students do enjoy freedom, but there are limits. Working within those parameters set by teachers, students are actively participants in deciding what their focus of learning will be. Montessorians understand that internal satisfaction drives a child's curiosity and interests and results in joyous learning that is sustainable over a long time. There's 2 more. Students are supported in becoming active seekers of knowledge. Teachers provide environments where students have the freedom and the tools to pursue answers to their own questions. And more importantly, the opportunity to self-correct and self-assess are an integral part of the Montessori classroom approach. As they mature, students learn to look critically at their work and become adept at recognizing, correcting, and learning from their errors. Ultimately, we're developing skills to be lifelong learners.
So in primary 5, the learning switches from the Montessori program to what one would call traditional learning. What does that mean for the child, and how does the school actually support that transition?
First of all, I want to sort of make it clear, we're not in a traditional educational approach. For us, we're proudly progressive. We have many traditional schools around the world, even in Bermuda, and a lot of the private schools here are very traditional in its approach. Somersfield Academy is not. We are really focusing on preparing our students for the real world, for the future. And we know that education is changing and society is changing incredibly fast. A lot of our traditional schools are exactly that. It's the education is the same as when you and I went to school, and the same as it was 100 years ago. And that concept of you get all of this knowledge, the teacher holds all that knowledge, you pour it down the throats of the students, they all of a sudden come up with this new knowledge, we test them on it in an exam, and lo and behold, they're going to be now knowledgeable kids. That's not true. What happens is after that exam, we all forget that information. Think about when we went to school and those examinations, how much did we remember after those? So as we move from the Montessori approach to what we call the middle years program, we're preparing our students through what we call an inquiry-based approach to teaching and learning. So again, we're really focusing on real-world situations that are interdisciplinary. It's funny, like when we were at school, we all compartmentalized. We learn English, we learn maths, we learn science, we learn humanities. But in the real world, you actually have to tie all those in together to develop your understanding of the world, to problem solve, to find solutions to complex issues. We need to teach those skills. They don't just come naturally. And so that's what our primary program is. It's an interdisciplinary approach. It's getting the kids to work on real world issues, to collaborate with one another and find solutions to those real world issues. And that prepares our students more as they go into the middle years program, which is our lower secondary school.
So another thing, so many things blow me away about Somersfield, but Jamel, I don't know if you know, they have the highest scores in IB program. So a lot of the kids were leaving Somersfield and going to like BHS, and so it looked like other schools would have these really high IB scores. So recently, Somersfield just had their first cohort graduate from the recently launched IB program. How important is that for Somersfield?
Massive. Like if everyone knows that Somersfield, although we've been here 30 years, only went to M5 or secondary 4, so to speak. So our children had to always go to other schools, other private schools in Bermuda or overseas. And we kept getting this feedback that, hey, these Somersfield kids are fantastic. They're knowledgeable, but they're also critical thinkers. They're able to tie the information together and use that new learning to be great students. And so they were getting fantastic results. It was back in 2019 that the board of directors at Somersfield Academy decided, hey, why don't we go all the way through? And so they brought in the IB diploma in 2019, and we had our first cohort of students in 2021. We've just had our third group of cohorts students, and they've gone on to fantastic universities all around the United States, in the UK, and further afield as well. And so that we know that we provide a good quality education.
So one of the things that I've knocked on your door about that was very important to me is we've had lots of conversations about Somersfield's sports program or lack thereof. And a lot of times people are like, okay, so the education piece is there, but what about their sports program? There isn't one there. And I can say that I am impressed with the commitment that has been made this year since you arrived to this area. Can you explain to our audience what's been implemented and what future plans that you have?
Oh, Sancha, yes, I listened when you came and talked to me alongside a whole lot of other parents about some of those challenges that we've had over the last 3 years. I think I'll just start there a little bit. Somersfield being a community-based school probably got affected the most by the COVID years. I'm sorry to bring those years up. We all feel a little nervous when we hear those years and the trauma we all went through. But as a school, to be a community-based school and to have our families all involved in activities and so forth, to take away that community spirit really impacted Somersfield. So for me coming in 10 months ago, listening to the parent community, listening to the students, listening to the staff, one of the things that they all agreed upon is we needed to get that community spirit back, and we needed to focus on the sports, the extracurricular activities, and the co-curricular activities. So the first thing we did is we developed a formal relationship with Vasco Football Club. They come and use all our facilities anyway, but we now have a much stronger relationship as a football academy, preparing our students from 5 years old all the way into upper representation. So we've got that strong interrelationship. So they're providing age group coaching and training. They've also provided an early morning sports program now. So we have a strength and conditioning program that's happening every morning from 6:30. So we've got a real strong cohort of students that have come through. We've also developed and strengthened our extracurricular program. All of our staff are involved in some form of sports coaching or social conscious activities. So there's a whole range of activities. But I think the one that's most exciting is on Friday afternoons, our whole community comes together from 4 years old all the way to 18 years old, our parents, our teachers, and we provide co-curricular activities. This is where our students get the opportunity to enjoy the many different unique activities that are unique to Bermuda. Where else can you go diving, surfing, sailing, and add all of the other myriad of sports that we have available here on Bermuda? And so we're really trying to expose those opportunities for our students so they can be world beaters in those areas. So we're really looking at seeing and promoting the things that are unique to Bermuda. And I want to mention that, look, we hear, and you guys have heard all this promotion about boarding schools and about how things are wonderful overseas. Well, actually, we've got great schools here in Bermuda. We've got great private schools here in Bermuda. And we've got a great range of activities and opportunities for our students right here at Somersfield, but also on the island of Bermuda.
Okay, so my final question, and to be frank, you came at a time where things seemed a little questionable for Somersfield. The previous headmaster had just a short time there, and you came halfway through the school year. Can you speak on some of the challenges that you were immediately faced with, and what are your plans moving forward?
Sure. And I mentioned just before, I think one of the challenges is the impact COVID had on the school and the breakdown in relationships, particularly in being, again, a community-based school. How can you create a community when we're not even allowed to be in the same rooms together? So that's really the focus that we've been looking at. I've developed a new strategic plan just through listening to the community, listening to parents, listening to our students, listening to our staff. And it really comes down to 3 golden rules. Number 1, relationships. Number 2 is relationships. And number 3 is relationships. Education is a partnership. And if we have strong relationships between the teacher and the student, the teacher and the parent, and the whole community, then that partnership is strong and we can do amazing things for our students. Ultimately, we all want the same goal, and that's our students to come out being socially conscious, critical thinkers. And that's our underlying mission, vision, and values. And so really our core focus now is actually focusing on what our foundation, mission, vision, and values have always been. But I think we've lost our way over the years, and we're really just realigning ourselves or steering the ship in the right direction. And I know our community, I know our staff, and I know our students are all committed to being the best we can be.
All righty. Let's go to the audience. We've got a lot of questions. They're engaging with you. Traveling Trotty, she's asking, what is the role of mixed age classrooms and how do they benefit students?
This is an interesting question because it's funny that in society, after we all leave school, we are not put into single age environments. Our work environment is with a whole multi-range of ages. So by having mixed age ranges in a classroom, children get the opportunity to be leaders. As they grow older in the classroom, they take on that role of being follower into developing into a leader. So those young children coming into a classroom, they're not just learning from the teacher, they're learning from role models. They're learning from the older child in the classroom. And often they learn much more from their older child than they do from the teacher. So it is like that family atmosphere. So that's a really important skill set. And you don't get that opportunity if you're all in a single age level, all the way at every year level throughout school, because you always have those leaders who always take on that leadership role, or those followers in a normal single year classroom. But actually, when you've got a multi-year level, you're almost pushed as that younger child grows into those older levels to take on those leadership opportunities and pushed into an area that you may not usually do if you were just in a single year level. So there are some real benefits for having that multi-age component within a classroom setting.
Indeed. Got you. Thank you. The next question, two people asked pretty much the same question. Traveling Charlie asks, how does Montessori school incorporate AI and technology while preserving the principles of hand-on, child-centered learning and independence? And Mark Arthur C. Phillips pretty much asked the same thing. In what ways will the Montessori educational philosophy teach students how to use AI?
Look, and this is where Somersfield is a cut above everyone else to a large degree. You know, I mentioned about that traditional education where it's really about the teacher pouring information into children, and children regurgitate that and then provide an answer an exam or a test. In a real world environment, and that's why we have the middle years program, which is the International Baccalaureate, and then the diploma program, International Baccalaureate. It's much more than just tests and examinations. What it really is providing real world challenges and students solving those real world challenges and using the tools that are available to us. Now, just like the calculator, when that came out 40 years ago, there was huge controversy about how that was going to impact examinations. Funnily enough, it didn't. We all moved on. There was huge controversy when the internet came out. And, you know, how is that going to be used in an education setting? Now it's part of that learning tool. Artificial intelligence, ChatGPT is the same thing. Forward-thinking progressive schools are going to use it as part of the learning tool. Yes, it is going to change some concepts. The concept of writing an essay now is very, very different. What we really want is our students to gather information, gather new ideas, use ChatGPT or artificial intelligence as part of their information gathering, but from that, develop a high level of thinking to use that information to work on solving complex problems and finding new solutions. What we need in society now are smart people who are able to collaborate with others to solve challenges. Now, if we can use artificial intelligence to help us to come to a high level of understanding and thinking, then we're preparing our students for the real world. I know that there are other traditional education communities who are very, very scared of artificial intelligence because of how's that going to impact a test or an exam? How's that going to impact an essay? We can't have that happen. But in Somersfield and in a real world setting, it's a new tool. We need to adapt. We need to use it because that is exactly what's happening in the workforce, and we need to prepare the students for that skill now.
Indeed. Karen Simmons, she's asking, is there potential to offer training and upskills, training to educators to focus on inquiry or exploratory learning approaches?
Look, to be honest, this is probably the most important area of focus in education today, is changing the skill sets of teachers who have been used to a traditional approach to education, and how do we shape them and develop those skill sets to be more inquiry focused and more prepared to support students with a whole range of different learning needs and focus on individual needs. At Somersfield, we've really focused on this head on. This is not something that can be done in a one-day course or even a 5-day course. And we're very fortunate that we've been working with Susanna Cole. Many of you will have heard of Susanna Cole's work through the Reading Clinic. providing supports and specialized support for children with diverse learning needs. But she's much more than that. She wrote a book called Flexible Mindsets in Schools, and it's really around training teachers on how to support students and their individual needs, and around that inquiry-based approach to teaching and learning. So that Flexible Mindsets in Schools, funnily enough, it's well known, that book, around the world. Yet it's not known in Bermuda, and yet she's here in Bermuda. She's been working in the education sector for many years. Somersfield has teamed up with her, and she's providing professional development for all of our teachers throughout this whole year. And we see this as a long-term process over the next 2 to 3 years as we move our teachers and their teaching methods into the 21st century as well.
All right, final question from the audience. I think it's Zavane Spencer says, does the school support / cater to children with autism spectrum disorder?
Look, we are an inclusive school. And I think everyone on the island recognizes that we do cater for individual students. We have a number of children already with us that's on the autism spectrum. And the reality is they're no different than any other child, in the sense that we just need to provide an individual learning approach. And this is where the Montessori education program is so good for that, because we look at the child, we understand what they are able to do, and we scaffold each learning experience for them to develop new knowledge. So that's what we're really looking for as an inclusive school. We do have to be careful. We can't take everyone. And so we want to make sure that in a classroom that there is balance, that we've got a whole range of students with a whole range of learning needs in each class. And so that's something we take in mind and are very careful when we make decisions on our enrollment processes and students in each classroom.
Indeed. And we have a couple of success things. Renee Simmons says, my grandson went to Somersfield, and one of his favorites was the marine diving program, which he really enjoyed. He's now in the final year of marine robotics and mechanisms in college. Great start. So that's one. And then we have Kathy Rogers says, Somersfield was an excellent learning experience for our daughter. Mr. Riki Teteina is an awesome head for Somersfield, wishing him continued success with the students and staff. So you got some fans out there. You've got some fans.
They're very kind, but they also sort of testimony to what we're looking for. We're looking for much more than students doing well academically. We're looking for students to be ultimately good people, to be great people, to lead the next generation of Bermudians, and to be leaders in Bermudian society. That's what our aim is.
All right. One more question. I said this is the last one from the audience, I promise.
No problem.
Traveling Charlie's asking, does the school do any collaboration with Bermuda College?
Interesting. Not yet is probably the best answer, but I know that we're looking at some opportunities. We're always looking at being innovative and looking at ways that we can improve the learning experiences for our students and for our community. So I understand that we're meeting with Bermuda College in the coming weeks. All
right. And before you head out, just to the audience, people who may not be as familiar as Sancho and myself, just tell them why Somersfield is the best choice for children in Bermuda.
Look, you need to prepare your students or prepare your children for the world that they're about to live in, or that they are living in now. Don't focus on a traditional educational program. You're going to end up preparing them for a world that no longer exists. You need to prepare them for a world that is rapidly changing, that there is no one knows what that future looks at, but we can develop the skills and concepts and structures and supports for your child to be successful in that unknown world. So put them into a school like Somersfield, a progressive school who's looking at preparing for the real world and the future that is already here now.
All right, Mr. Riki, thank you so much for this conversation. Really appreciated it. I learned a lot. And Sancha, thank you for making sure that we knew what to ask.
Well, Sancho and Jamal, it's been a pleasure, and always happy to talk about Somersfield and the wonderful things that are going on here.
For sure. Don't be a stranger. Have a wonderful day.
Take care.
All righty. Mr. Riki, if you appreciate the conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Please do make sure that you share these conversations with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Folks, I enjoy conversations like that. I really do. I really do. But we're going to take a quick break, come back, wrap it up. We've got a daily play for Sancha. I just hope Sancha doesn't disappoint me with this answer.
Oh,
I hope Mr. Riki stays on and listens to
I disappointed you yesterday that I didn't get Michael Jackson.
You're not going to disappoint with this one, Sancha. I have faith in you today, all right?
The pressure.
We'll be right back. Stick with us, folks.
Hi, welcome to ER Fisheries. I'm Jalen Steed, store manager and trained chef, and I'm here to help you with all of your food needs. Let's talk about why you should come and check out ER Fisheries. We offer the widest range of specialty meats and seafood items at a price point that will absolutely fit your budget. As a chef, I'm able to answer all of your food questions, help you come up with meal ideas, and generally guide you in the right direction. You'll get a custom shopping experience unlike any other food store in Bermuda, where we'll cater to your needs and provide you with excellent customer service. Where else can you get quality cooking advice and quality products? I look forward to helping you with all your meal ideas.
Welcome back again. Once again, thank you to Mr. Riki Teteina and everyone at Somersfield, the work they're doing for the next generation of Bermudians. He said something Steve Perry said many years ago as well. He said, it's imperative that we prepare children for things that don't yet exist. That's the way education's supposed to work. And I hope that sticks with people. We don't know what may exist. I mean, look, let's be honest. When I was in school, social media didn't exist. The internet was almost brand new. We were just in chat groups getting in trouble for writing inappropriate stuff. This technology we're using today didn't exist 5 years ago. Out of a pandemic, here we are. So it's an ever-evolving world. And I've always been a fan long before any of my family was involved in Somersfield. So, but still put my bias out there. And as I should have said this, and I'll say it now, yes, my stepmother is also at Somersfield. So yeah, Sancha and I have our bias, I guess. And now you all are saying, well, they should have not did the show today. It should have been Roger or, whatever. But thanks again to Mr. Riki. And thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medicals, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we can have these kind of conversations on a daily basis. All right, it's time for the Daily Play brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Sancha, are you ready?
I'm ready. Audience, yo, he puts a lot of pressure on me.
You've got this, Sancha. It's a remember when, and we're not going back far. Sancha, the current premier of Bermuda is David Burt.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the premier of Bermuda prior to David Burt? Who?
Cannoneer. No, it Mark.
Pardon?
Mark Bean.
Sancha, who's the premier before David Burt?
Mark Bean.
Why is everyone saying Mark Bean? Who was the? Thank you, Suzanne.
I said Dunkley.
You did? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. You heard everybody?
I said Dunkley.
Oh.
I said Dunkley.
I heard Cannoneer. I didn't hear Dunkley. Oh, sorry.
And then I said Dunkley.
Oh, okay.
Rewatch the show, sir.
Yeah, it was Michael Dunkley. The premier, Cox was before Cannoneer. The premier of Bermuda before David Burt was Michael Dunkley.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's give her one of those. Anyway, let's wrap it up. Final thoughts on the discussion this morning, the noise complaints, and then obviously Mr. Riki Teteina.
Noise complaints. I just feel like at the end of the day, we need to be mindful. Actually, no, let me rewind. What I got from our conversation was communication. Communication is key. So if we're able to communicate then we can know that, there is an annoyance, or, hey guys, I'm about to do this, or this is what's going to happen. So you can be a little more understanding. That's what my takeaway was. As far as Somersfield Academy, as you already said, I have a bias, and my reasoning for even putting Maddox within this program is that I think it's best. You can be book smart, you can get as many degrees as you want, but being a critical thinker is important. And I see it every day when I hire people. Like, I have some of those people that may not be as book smart, but they can run their way through, like, solving problems and just management solutions, right? And that to me is a lot more important. Even just Somersfield is so worldly. They make sure that they teach them about the world. They're not just stuck in this bubble of this is Bermuda and this is who we are, and you learn your ABCs, 1, 2, 3s. So that's my reasoning for putting Maddox into Somersfield. And another thing, when people were saying the middle, when kids are in multi-age classrooms, I find that with Maddox, he excels because once he's done something at his P3 level, if it's a P4 doing something, he can engage in that conversation and he can continue to learn. He's not stopping right there. So I appreciate that. And I have one more thing. I know you're out of time. I recently became the diversity rep for the PTA. So my goal in Somersfield is just to make sure that we're paying attention to diversity and what's important within school. So I hope that I can improve it in that lane.
Well, congratulations. Yes.
Thank you.
On your new role. I agree with you, Sancha. I think we said it earlier. The solution is communication as far as noise complaints. Communicate beforehand. Let people know. I think just have an open dialogue and conversations. Hey, look, Mr. True, we're gonna be having an event on Saturday night. Mr. True may say, all right, can you guys just try to end it or lower the music by 12 midnight and go from there. I think that's pretty much what can happen without getting the police and Department of Public Prosecutions involved. As far as Somersfield, thanks again to Mr. Riki. I have been a fan of Somersfield for ages, and as a person who went through the public school system and still supports the public school system, I do appreciate their methods. I believe I may have been a better student if I benefited from their methods rather than the traditional approach to education. So that's why I'm a fan of it and I would invest in it. My hope is that public schools and the public system could actually learn from some of the private institutions like Somersfield. So folks, check them out if you don't know much. As I said earlier, please share the link to this show so that people can learn as much as they can about what actually does exist without going overseas to a boarding school. Sancha, you've got some daily inspiration for us?
I do, and our daily inspiration is brought to you by ER Fisheries. The greatest gift we can give our children are the roots of responsibility and the wings of independence. And that is from Dr. Maria Montessori.
Oh, had to be, because man, that was literally summed up today's conversation. She does what she does. Folks, again, just put the link in there again, please. Really, really would be grateful and appreciative of you all to please fill out this survey. It's on our website, but the link is also in the comments if you're tuned in on our website, YouTube, or Facebook. The information that you provide to us really does help us make decisions and grow as a show. So thank you in advance for participating in our annual survey. There will be a winner. We'll have a draw to give a winner, and I'll probably announce what the prize would be tomorrow. We'll usually do the draw at the beginning of December. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. Again, happy birthday to People's Pharmacy, celebrating an anniversary today. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sancha Durham. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.